Welcome to this 60-minute Power Yoga Vinyasa-less practice. In this class, we ask the question, what if I didn't, as an exploration of the yogic practice of restraint. I hope you enjoy this class, and be sure to click subscribe below. I'll see you at the end.
Hi, everyone. Welcome in. I'll invite you as we begin to have 2 blocks for this practice today. So you might put one at the front corner of either side of your mat so that they're there if and when you need them. And as you arrive, it might be nice to pop into the comments and just share where it is you're practicing from today. It's always nice to know that when we come to practice, even though we're in our own space and oftentimes we're practicing alone, that we aren't actually alone in this practice, that we are here together, practicing as a community, both intentionally, inwardly, with the work that we'll be bringing off the mat and in the world today, as well as moving through these different postures, these different forms of asana, that we're not doing it alone, that in fact, there are people all around the world at the same time going through many of these same movements, and that creates a collective energy behind the sankalpa, or the intention that we bring to practice each day. So from there, as you have the time to settle in, we'll start in child's pose today. And I'd like to just set the reminder and hold the space that child's pose is not a resting pose or a comfortable pose for every body. So if child's pose is not a place where you really feel like you can settle in, then I invite you to begin practice on your back instead. And you can do these same movements, just reclining on your back. Child's pose puts a lot of flexion into the ankles, stretches the feet, deep flexion in the knees. And so it's not necessarily right for everybody. It's important that we can really start to turn our attention inward and start to harness the mind in connection with the energy body, with the breath. So whether you're reclining on your back or whether you're starting in child's pose, extend the arms out ahead. If it's available for you to close your eyes, then go ahead and close your eyes as you start to take your attention within. Begin to deepen the breath, taking a few full, deep inhales and complete exhales, maybe even exhaling out of the mouth as you surrender any unnecessary tension or holding that might be here today. And we ask this question today: what if I didn't? This taps us into the yoga philosophy of the yamas, and this idea of restraint. We are addicted in this culture to overworking, to pushing ourselves so hard, both on and off the mat. And in the philosophy of yoga, there is a tenet referred to as brahmacharya. And the idea is, what if every breath you took, what if every movement you entered into today was done so in alignment with spirit? One way of phrasing that is walking with God, and that word doesn't work for everybody. But how would something bigger than your small self, maybe than your ego, want you to enter into this practice today? And so we restrain ourselves from overindulging in
pushing ourselves so hard, in thinking that practice needs to look a certain way. We restrain ourselves from the distracted thoughts, the part of the mind that wants to get up and answer an email or cross something off of a list. This is the practice of restraint. And we can harness that restraint in a positive way by honing the attention and the focus just to this breath that you're taking. So breathing in, you know you're breathing in. And breathing out, you know you're breathing out. One moment at a time, maybe one distracted thought at a time, you just bring yourself back and you restrain yourself from behaving in a reactive or conditioned way. And so staying down low, or if you're on your back, you can do this as well. Start to crawl the torso over to the right. And as you reach the arms up and over to the right, you feel a deep stretch from left hip all the way across left waist and left lung, up and underneath the left shoulder, and take a few breaths there. When you first began practicing yoga, you learned the restraint of remaining in a yoga pose, even though you maybe wanted to run away. So part of learning to restrain ourselves is learning to be with things not only in a new way, but learning to be with our discomfort in a new way. That doing things in a new way can often be very uncomfortable. If we're used to overworking, if we're used to answering a message as soon as it comes in, it might be uncomfortable at first to put that urge to the side. And so you breathe again, you bring your attention right back here, and you do so in a kind, patient, and friendly way. Start to crawl your hands back through the center and then up and over to the opposite side, draping the chest forward and out. And reaching now long from right hip through right waist into the underneath edge of the right shoulder, the right armpit. Imagining that you could breathe into the right lung, the right waist. And noticing the four parts of the breath, which helps to harness the mind. And there's an inhale that fills the body. A very subtle, brief pause at the top of the in-breath. An exhale that you empty out of the body completely. And then a slightly longer pause at the bottom of the out-breath. And if we pay attention to those four parts of the breath, the distracted mind has a little bit less of a hold over us. And on your next inhale, bring the torso back through the center, stretch the arms out. And on your next inhale, rise to the knees, tuck the toes under, lift the knees up and off the mat, and head back to your first downward facing dog. Separate the feet about as wide as the sitting bones, maybe a little bit wider today, especially if things are a little bit tight. Make some extra space. Then as you pause there, give a little bend to the elbows and then roll the shoulders away from the sides of the head. And even here physically, there's an aspect of restraint that we're not pushing the limbs, we're not pushing the joints and the ligaments past that point of straight. Some of us have a tendency to hyperextend. And so can we subtly shift away from that and turn the muscles on so they're doing the work, not the joints, not the ligaments. And from this place, on an inhale, float forward, upper push-up plank position, shoulders above wrists, reach the sitting bones to the heels, the heart ahead. And then firm the thighs up and back, downward facing dog as you exhale. And we just flow this a couple of times, linking body to breath. Inhale forward, upper push-up plank, gaze slightly ahead. From the pit of your navel up and back, exhale, downward facing dog. The restraint of moving slow on the breath. Last time, inhale, upper push-up plank. Pause there as the fingers spread. Then exhale and lower the right knee down underneath the right hip. Spin the sole of the back left foot flat. And on your next inhale, circle your left arm up toward the sky and pause there in a modified variation of side plank. Take an inhale, lift tall up through the left arm. Exhale the left arm up and over the crown of the head for a moment. Keep breathing here. And so many of us have a tendency to throw ourselves into a back bend here. And so once again, there's even a physical embodiment of restraint. As you soften the bottom ribs down, you move the pubic bone toward the face. So it's almost like you're doing a little bit of a crunch. It feels like the plank pose that you were just in. And your strong front body protects your back body. Still drawing the navel to the spine while still drawing your breath down deep. Inhale your left arm to the sky once again. Turn your palm to face behind you and exhale and drop your left arm behind your back. From there, let the right ear fall to the right shoulder. Maybe even close the eyes and give the whole left side of the neck a deep, easy, long, enjoyable stretch here. You have this big strap of muscle that runs from the back of the ear, along the side of the neck, and across the top of the shoulder. A place that for many of us gets quite tight while we're doing the work of the day. And so for a moment here, giving that left side of the neck and even the left shoulder a little bit of a release. And still breathing smoothly and evenly. If you drop the right ear, lift the right temple parallel to the mat once again. Inhale the left arm to the sky, and then exhale the left hand to the mat underneath the left shoulder. Spin to your back left toes. Lift your left leg up about the height of your left hip. Keep your navel lifted, your heart forward, so you're driving the floor away. Take an in-breath. And as you exhale, tap your left toes to the back right corner of your mat. So you're going to cross the leg behind you for a moment, the toes tap. Then inhale, lift the left leg straight back up behind you. 3 more like that. Exhale, tap the left toes up and over to the right. Inhale, left heel lifts. Exhale, tap the left toes to the right. Inhale, left leg lifts. 1 more time. Exhale, tap the left toes all the way over to the right. Inhale, lift the left leg up. You can stay here, or maybe start to bend the left knee. You can stay here, or reach the right hand behind and see if the foot might be there to catch. And today, pull the heel into the left sitting bone so that you stretch the left quadricep. And again, we're keeping the front body strong, pressing the floor away, not throwing ourselves into a back bend. And as you hug the left heel in, if that's appropriate for you today, notice that within a little bit of precarious balance, you haven't skipped a breath. What if you didn't skip a breath in this practice today? Give it one last little hug. Inhale the left leg straight back, the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Exhale, left knee down onto the mat. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees, press back to downward facing dog. Pause there for a moment. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Stick the tongue out, exhale, let it go. Inhale, forward, upper push-up plank position. Exhale and lower the left knee down underneath the left hip. Spin the sole of the right foot flat so you have your anchor there. Left hand underneath left shoulder, and inhale your right arm up toward the sky here. Sitting bones reach toward the back of the mat. Pubic bone lifts up toward the face. Strong front body, long back body. Take an inhale, spread your arms wide. And then exhale your right arm up and over the crown of your head. Find one place for yourself and see if you can be here. And as we check in, can we be truthful? This yama that is known as satya. Am I really here doing my practice? Or have I dissociated in some way? Have I allowed my mind to go somewhere else? And can I be deeply honest with myself? have the courage and also the kindness, the nonviolence or compassion to bring myself back in a friendly way. So restraining myself from beating myself up in any way. Because of course, ahimsa, nonviolence, begins internally. Inhale, lift the right arm back up to the sky. As you exhale, turn the right palm to face behind. Drop the right arm behind you once again, binding the right arm behind the back. And then exhale and drop the left ear to the left shoulder, giving things just a while here to warm up. There's no hurry, no rush. Take several breaths, and you might notice that this side feels different than the first side. Oftentimes, one side of the neck is more dominant. We tend to turn the head one way or sleep one way predominantly. So one side might feel a little more tender than the other. That's okay. Be right here with whatever is arising. If there's quivering in the body and it changes the breath, that's not a problem, but can you stay with that smooth, steady breath? That as you negotiate balance, you remain committed to this practice of calming the energy and soothing the mind one breath at a time. On an inhale, lift the temple parallel to the mat. Circle the right arm to the sky. Take a goodbye inhale there. Exhale, plant the right hand underneath the right shoulder as you spin to the back right toes. Elevate the right leg parallel to the mat. Check in with your core. So still that little hug of the front body to the back. One more inhale as you drive the right heel back, and then exhale, tap the right toes up and over to the left. Inhale, lift the leg straight back behind you. 3 more like that. Exhale, tap. Inhale, back behind you. Exhale, right toes tap. Inhale, drive the leg back. Exhale, right toes tap to the left. Inhale, lift the leg, pause there, start to bend the right knee, and this might be enough. What if this were enough of a stretch? What if this were enough of a pose? Actually, how lucky we would be that we don't need to go anywhere else. Maybe you give yourself permission to be right here. Or maybe you reach the left arm back behind you. Maybe you catch the foot to hug the heel in if the quadricep is asking for that. And so for those of you that are hypermobile, which most people who are attracted to yoga, whether you think you are or are not, in some way you are probably hypermobile, you might not actually feel a stretch. And could you be okay with that? Could you restrain yourself from pushing yourself so hard that actually maybe what you need is the opposite of sensation? If you have the heel, give it one last little hug. Reach the right leg straight back. Place the left hand under the left shoulder. Take a goodbye in breath. Back to tabletop pose as you exhale. Tuck the toes under and lift the knees up and back. Downward facing dog. Pause in downward facing dog. One more time, lion's breath. Deep inhale through the nose. Stick the tongue out, clear the slate. On an inhale, press the hips up and back. As you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, take a very slow walk up to meet your hands. 1 foot at a time, you might come up to the tips of the fingers. And then as you reach the top of the mat, separate the feet hip distance. Put a little bend into the knees, grab opposite elbows, and drape the chest over the thighs. Let the head go. Notice if you're still holding up the head, caught in the thinking or the intellectualizing, the cerebral mind. Let the head go. Come into the feeling body. Sway a little bit side to side. Can you give yourself this time? Breathe. The practice of asteya is known as non-stealing. And we can think of that externally, like we don't want to steal things from other people, but that's so obvious. Practiced internally, the question might be, could you not steal this time away from yourself that you carved out for practice today? Especially in those moments when it's different than what you expected, slower than what you expected. Can you stay? Take a breath, come through center, release your arms down toward the earth like a rag doll. Let the arms hang, keep the bend in the knees, a slow roll to stand, 1 vertebrae at a time. Take your time. Navel still hooking up toward the face, front body protecting back body. At the top, roll the shoulders down the back. Pause for a moment, palms forward. Feet connected to the earth, eyes closed. Draw the palms together at the space of the heart, bow your chin. Take your attention back inside of yourself. And what is the form of restraint that you need to practice today? Do you need to restrain yourself from grasping to the desire of wanting or expecting to feel a certain way, of needing to fix something? There's nothing here to fix. Is it the restraint of practicing inward kindness? Or simply the permission not to push yourself so hard? How many vinyasas have you done? And what if today you didn't and could still see that practice can be strong? And so from this place, another way we might pose this question is, can I align myself with what is most essential? And so from this place, inhale, circle both arms to the sky. Deep inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, fold forward, dive down, get empty of breath. Hands to shins or fingertips under shoulders. Inhale, lengthen the spine, find a flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot and then the left foot back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, upper push-up plank position. Tabletop pose as you exhale. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the tail and round the spine. Inhale, melt the belly, slip the shoulders down the back. Downward facing dog as you exhale, push and firm the thighs back, and we just flow this. Inhale, lift the sitting bones up and back. Exhale, bend the knees, step the feet forward to meet the hands, holding top of the mat. Flat back inhale, lead with your heart. Exhale, fold, drop the head. To the sky, inhale, press through the feet, rise to stand. Back at your heart as you exhale, focused. Inhale, circle the arms up, bring yourself back as many times as you need. Exhale, dive down, letting go of what is not essential today. Inhale, glance out, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, left foot steps back, then the right, downward facing dog. Inhale, upper push-up plank. Exhale, knees underneath the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the tail, dome and round the back. Inhale, melt the belly, pull the heart through the gateway of the chest. Down dog as you exhale, press the sitting bones up and back. Two more like this. Inhale, press back. Exhale, bend the knees, step the feet, folding forward, top of the mat. Chest out, inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, forward fold and melt in. Inhale, strong legs carry you all the way up to stand. Exhale, trace that center line back to your heart where it matters most, moving with spirit. Inhale, circle the arms up, sweep up, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, press all of the breath out. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog, step back. Inhale, upper push-up plank position. Exhale, knees to the mat. Inhale, cow pose, belly melts and heart lifts. Exhale, cat pose, lift the navel to the back. Inhale, melt the belly, slip the shoulders away from the ears. Down dog as you exhale, one last round here. Inhale, press the heart, the chest back. Exhale, bend the knees, step the feet forward, forward fold, top of the mat. Chest lifts, inhale, navel strong. Exhale, forward fold, get out of the head. Inhale carries you all the way to the sky as you root to stand. Exhale, pull the hands down to the heart. Last time. Inhale, big breath, sweep the arms up, reach up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, bow and melt your way down. Inhale, lift the chest up, lengthen the spine, tail to head. Down dog as you exhale, step your feet back. Inhale, forward, upper push-up plank. Exhale, tabletop pose. Inhale, heart draws forward, collarbones spread. Exhale, curl in. There's a pause when you're empty as you hang your head. Inhale, melt the belly, lift the heart, gaze forward toward the horizon. Down dog as you exhale, and we just get ready to move on. Spreading the fingers wide, pressing down through the tips of the fingers. In the body, aligned in the breath. Take an inhale, press the tops of the thighs back. Exhale, bend the knees, stepper if you like, hop the feet up to meet the hands. Chest out, inhale, lengthen spine and back. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, drop the hips, sit back, inhale to chair pose. Shift the weight into the heels, take a deep breath in. Turn your palms to the right and exhale, sweep the arms to the right, almost like you're clearing off a dusty mirror. Inhale, back to chair pose, arms reach overhead. Turn the palms to the left as you exhale, sweep the arms to the left. Inhale, back up to the center, and then one time, chest to thighs, exhale, arms down by the sides. Inhale, chair pose as you sit back, gaze ahead. Exhale, forward fold, drop over the legs. Chest out, inhale, flat back. Down dog, exhale, step the feet to the back of the mat. Inhale, float your right leg parallel to the mat, just like you practiced on hands and knees. And then one time as you exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists, lift it high up onto the back left toes, so you even get a stretch through the arch of the left foot today. Inhale, reach the right leg all the way up and back. Exhale, step the right foot through between the hands. On the back toes, inhale, rise to crescent pose. And at the top, let the right hand catch the left wrist. Take an inhale to grow a little bit tall through the left side waist. And then exhale, lean up and over to the right. Use the right hand, draw the left arm overhead as you awaken once again the left side waist. Back to center crescent pose. Inhale, separate the hands, reach up. Open up to warrior two as you exhale. Back foot seals flat. Front heel intersects your back arch. Then sweep your left hand forward. Take a hold of your right wrist. And inhale, reverse your warrior. Now getting a deep stretch through the right side waist as you use the left hand to draw the right arm up and back. Take one more inhale there. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Step right back to downward facing dog once again. Inhale, float the left leg parallel to the earth. Second side, exhale, thigh to chest. Lift up high onto the back right toes. Lift the right heel as high as it can go, and then hug the left thigh in a little bit further. Inhale, flip the left leg all the way up and back as the right heel descends. Exhale, step the left foot through between the hands. On back toes, inhale, crescent pose as you rise. Left hand takes the right wrist. Grow up on an inhale, taller from right hip to right hand. And then exhale as you tilt up and over to the left. Softening the corners of the eyes. Remembering to breathe. Pulling that breath down deep, give it one last little deep side stretch. Inhale, back to crescent pose, reach up. Open up second warrior on that out breath. Spread the arms out wide. Descend down into the left thigh, but it doesn't need to be your deepest version of it. Reach your right hand forward to your left wrist and inhale, reverse your warrior. Take the left arm up and overhead. There's an aspect of reverse warrior that's referred to as the peaceful warrior. And so imbuing your pose, imbuing your mind and your body with that quality of equanimity, of steadiness, contentment. Take one last inhale as you lean back, and then exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank and just pause there and hold. Feel the sides of the waist hug in. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. And we're just gonna link this together. On an inhale, press the sitting bones up and back. Exhale, bend the knees, step or hop, feet to meet the hands. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Exhale, fold into a moving meditation. Chair pose, inhale, sit back. Exhale, turn the palms to the right, clear the slate. Inhale, back to chair pose, no rush. Exhale, turn the palms to the left. Inhale, back up to the center. Exhale, chest down, arms by your side, sweep back. Inhale, chair pose as you sit. Exhale, fold and feel the space you made. Inhale, fill your lungs, pull your chest forward and out. Down dog as you exhale, step your feet back. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, knee to nose, thigh to chest. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, right foot floats forward between the hands. Inhale, crescent pose as you rise. Right hand takes left wrist. Exhale, lean to the right side of the space. Inhale to the center. Exhale, warrior two as you open it up. Inhale, reverse warrior, left hand takes right wrist up and overhead. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg floats up, slow and strong. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, left leg parallel to the mat. Exhale, step the left foot through. On back toes, inhale as you rise, left hand takes right wrist. Exhale, lean up and over to the left. Inhale to crescent. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior, right hand holding left wrist, drawing you back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step right back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward, upper push-up plank position, just a moment to strengthen and hold. Downward facing dog on the out breath. One last time we flow through it. Inhale, lift the hips up and back. Exhale, bend the knees, step or hop, feet to meet hands. Flat back, inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, forward fold, empty out. Chair pose, inhale, sit the hips back. Exhale, clear out, sweep to the right and back. Inhale, center as the arms lift. Exhale, clear it out to the left. Inhale to the middle, grow tall. Exhale, chest down, arms by your sides like a little bow. Inhale, chair pose, knees still bent. Exhale, forward fold, legs straight your own amount. Inhale, lift the heart halfway. Down dog as you exhale, step your way back today. Inhale, right leg floats up. Exhale, knee to nose, side to chest. Inhale, three leg down dog. Exhale, right foot floats through. Inhale, crescent pose as you sweep and lift. Exhale, lean up and over to the right, holding left wrist. Inhale to second warrior as you open up and back foot spins flat. Reverse it, left hand holds right wrist. Draw the top arm up and back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg floats up. Exhale, knee to nose, pause when you're empty. Inhale, left leg floats behind you. Exhale, left foot steps through. Inhale, last time as you rise. Exhale, lean to the left side. Inhale to the center, grow tall. Open up and spread, warrior two as you descend. Inhale, reverse your warrior, holding left wrist as you draw back. Exhale, hands drop to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. There's a little pause. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Pause in downward facing dog. Take an inhale, lift your right leg up and off the mat. Exhale, step your right foot through. On your back toes, inhale to crescent pose and pause. Take a moment at the top. As you arrive in crescent pose, noticing the qualities that are here today. The qualities of the body, the qualities of the mind, and the qualities of the heart. You can be aware of what's here without judging or criticizing it. This is just the root of meditation. It's to see things clearly.
And when we see things clearly, then we're able to align with what is true and essential. So these moments of pause are so essential to our life that oftentimes we get far away from what's essential because we get caught in the hurry of life. Take an inhale. Lean out halfway as you exhale and run your arms down by your sides. As your fingertips reach back, your heart reaches forward. Shift your body forward and float up into a soft warrior three today. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart and at the same time, tap your left knee to the back of your right knee without touching the mat. Then inhale, left leg straight behind you, arms back to warrior three. Two more like that. Exhale, hands to heart, left knee taps right, like you're curling in on yourself. Inhale, float back slowly to third warrior. Last time, exhale, hands to heart, left knee taps right. Inhale, third warrior, little pause there. You negotiate balance. Start to bend your right knee deeply. Drop step your left toes back. Inhale to your last crescent pose on the right leg today. Then exhale, open up into warrior two as you sit down and in. Turn your left palm to face behind you. Wrap your left arm behind your back, just like you practiced earlier on hands and knees. Flip your right palm to the sky and inhale, reach your right arm up and overhead. And at the same time, straighten your right leg. So you come into a bound reverse version of triangle pose. Take one more inhale here as you lean back. And then exhale all the way up and over into bound triangle pose. Right hand to right shin. Left arm still behind the back. And you have those blocks strategically placed at the top of your mat. So if you wanted to have one underneath your right hand, you can place it outside of your right ankle, giving you space, stability. Keep the left shoulder moving down away from the left ear. Notice where you are. Are you in your body? Have you vacated this moment? Have you gone somewhere else entirely, a place of narrative, a place of fantasy? Can you restrain yourself from feeding that line of dialogue? And can you be right here, feet on the mat, breath in the body? The permission to stay right here today. Or if it's appropriate and right, you can turn the gaze down, you can start to bend the right knee, shift the block or the right hand forward and float up into a bound version of half moon today. You don't need to go here. The same way that you don't need to answer the email that came in at 9 o'clock at night when you'd stopped working for the day. So if we can't practice this restraint in our yoga practice, why would we be able to practice it in our lives? So we embody it here on our mat so that when those uncomfortable moments in life arise, we actually know what it's like to hold back, to honor boundaries with compassion and honesty, with truth, and not stealing time away from ourselves, not grasping at the ego. If you're in the bound half moon, take one more inhale. As you exhale from either place, start to rebend the right knee, float step the left foot back, either right elbow to right knee or right hand inside of the right foot. Float the left arm to the sky on an inhale, and then exhale the left arm up and over the crown of the head. Be there for a moment in extended side angle pose. Take a breath. Circle the left arm to the sky, keep the back left foot sealing to the mat and place the left hand down inside of the right foot. The legs are gonna stay in warrior two and just start to crawl the hands to the left all the way off of your yoga mat. Come up onto the tips of the fingers, pull the heart forward. Stay bent in the right knee, warrior two in the legs. Straight arms, take an inhale, drive the hips back. One last deep breath in here. Open the mouth, exhale, soften it out, let it go. On an inhale, crawl the hands back through center. Spin onto the back left toes, take a breath, and then exhale and lower the left knee behind the left hip. Sweep the arms up on an inhale, coming into your low lunge. Pause at the top, take a breath. Then exhale, drop your right arm down outside of your right waist and reach your left arm up and over your head. Your right fingertips might hang down toward the floor. You could grab a block and put it underneath your right hand. Or for some of us, the right fingertips touch the floor. It's not necessary. Don't force anything to happen. Give it one last little moment there as you reach. Inhale, right arm comes back up to meet the left. And then exhale the arms down by the sides. Pause for a moment. Take a breath. Soften something, the tension in the face. Maybe shake it out a little bit. Let the shoulders shake, the head shake. You can stay right here. Or once again, if you'd like, start to bend the left knee. Reach back with the left hand, reach back with the right hand, and flex the foot as you kick the shin into the hands. Finally finding a little bit of a back bend. Not too much. Start to roll the shoulders down the back. As the shin, the top of the left ankle presses into the hands, it tractions the heart open as the shoulders roll back. Give it one last little moment there in either shape, a goodbye inhale. Exhale, slowly release the left foot down behind you. Place the fingertips down, frame your front right foot, and then straighten the right leg. And I would use my blocks today, half splits. Up on the right heel, draw the right toes towards you. Pull the heart forward and grow long from tail to head. Close your eyes. Take your attention back inside of yourself. Deep inhale through the nose. Deep exhale out of the nose. Sound of Ujjayi. Deep inhale through the nose. Deep exhale out of the nose. Listen to the sound your breath makes, helping to calm and steady the mind, especially in those moments when we run or run away. Give it one last inhale here. Exhale, rebend the front right knee. Place your blocks back outside either corner of your mat. Plant your hands, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, step to plank, and then lower the knees down behind the hips. Release the tops of the feet flat. 3 modified push-ups. Inhale here. Exhale, hover. Inhale, straighten the arms. 2 more to go. Exhale, elbows hug the waist. Inhale, press the floor away, soft face. Last time, exhale, elbows hug in. Inhale, back to modified plank. Down dog is your exhale. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, up and back. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps between the hands. Inhale, rise up, crescent pose. Pause at the top. Spin the pinky fingers in subtly. The same work you find in down dog, like you're rotating the armpits toward the heart. Pause inside of yourself for a moment. Get clear. Where did you go? What story do you need to restrain yourself from feeding? Where is the ego trying to take you off the mat and back out into the world? And have a sense of humor about it. This is what the ego does. It's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong about it. We just want to give ourselves the gift of practice. It takes time, patience, diligence. Deep inhale here. Exhale, lean out halfway, run the arms down by the sides. There's that moment of pause. You grow longer from tail to head. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, shift forward, float the right leg up, third warrior. You're just there for a beat. Take a deep breath in and warrior 3. Exhale, hands to heart, right knee taps the back of left. Inhale, float back to warrior 3 like you're moving through honey, through something thick. Exhale, hands to heart, right knee taps left, curl in on yourself. Inhale, float back to warrior 3. One more time. Exhale, hands to heart, knees tap. Inhale, third warrior. Exhale, bend the left knee, drop step the right toes back, rise up to your final crescent pose. Open up to warrior two as you exhale, arms widen and spread. Flip the right palm to face behind you, bound the right arm behind the back. Flip the left arm to the sky. Inhale, reverse your warrior and straighten your left leg. Lift the left hip up. Reach a little bit further back. Keep a subtle bend in your front left knee. So again, not overusing those joints. Keep the muscles engaged. Lift the left quadricep. One more inhale as you lean back. Right arm still bound behind you as you exhale, bound triangle pose. Lean the torso forward. Descend the left hand to the left shin. Roll the right shoulder down the back. Again, those blocks are there. If you want to grab one, have one outside of your left ankle. Blocks are there to support us in our practice. The teacher Rusty Wells calls them rectangles of hope. So giving us hope in the body and space in the body. Find this moment that you're in. Find the feet on the floor, the breath in the body, your intention in your heart to recondition, to create some new pathways, new ways of being in your life and in the world, beyond what you think you should and have to be doing, and aligning yourself with spirit. And you ask the question, right now, what makes sense for me? Is my work right here? Or would it make sense for me to turn my gaze down, start to bend the left knee, shift forward and take flight into a bound version, half bound version of Ardha Chandrasana today, half moon pose. Right arm behind the back, right leg lifted only if it's appropriate for you. You know, if you're someone who always thinks you have to do the pose that's offered, maybe your work today is being with the discomfort of staying in bound triangle instead. Can you resist the urge to always need to do more? Take a breath in. Lift the right leg a little high. One more inhale. Start to bend the left knee, float step the right foot back, either left elbow to left knee or left hand inside of the left foot. Inhale the right arm to the sky and then exhale it up and over the head. Extended side angle pose just for a moment as you turn the navel, the heart to the sky. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale the right hand down. Feet stay exactly as they are in warrior two. Just start to crawl the hands to the right. On the tips of the fingers, press the left knee forward. Track the left knee over the second and third toes. Seal the back right foot down. Press the right thigh back. Take one more deep inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Staying down low, crawl your hands back to your front left foot. Spin onto your back right toes and drop your right knee down behind your right head. Into your low lunge, inhale, circle both arms to the sky, full breath in. Exhale, drop your left hand down outside of your left hip, reach your right arm up and over your head. Fingertips can hang out in midair. Left hand could rest on a block. Give it one little moment there. Back to center, inhale, both arms to the sky. Exhale, drop the arms down by the sides. Let it go. Soft smile on the face, steady in the breath, soften the left toes. If you need to shake the arms, the shoulders, the head, soften. You can stay here. Or if it makes sense, start to bend the right knee, reach back with the right hand, reach back with the left hand, grab the base of the ankle where the shin and the ankle meet, and then flex the right foot. Press the top of the ankle, the shin into the hands. Let that traction the chest open. Start to roll the shoulders back. And then you find the opening of the heart. Don't need to go further than the body is allowing today, is asking for, further than the body can sustain a steady breath. Take one more inhale, shoulders roll, heart lifts. If you have the foot, exhale, slowly release it back. Frame the front foot with the hands, rock the hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana, flex the left toes to the face. I don't know why I teach this pose so often. I actually hate it, which is probably one of the reasons why it ends up showing up so often in practice. The restraint of only doing the poses that we love, right? That's so often what practice points us to are the places that most need our attention. It's easy to be curious and open and non-judgmental. It starts here in the body, and then we take it off the mat and we get to look at those places in life. Where have I shut down? Where have I gotten rigid? Where have I stopped exploring? On an inhale, rebend the left knee, place the blocks down, tuck the back right toes under, lift the right knee, step to plank, and then drop the knees behind the hips. Last time, 3 modified push-ups. Inhale here. Exhale, bend the elbows and hover. Inhale, straighten the arms, strong front body. 2 to go. Exhale, hover. Inhale and press. Exhale, hover. Inhale, pause and modified plank. Tuck the toes as you exhale, lift the hips up and back into your last downward facing dog of the day. Deep breath in, deep full breath out. Inhale, press the hips back. Exhale, lower the knees down, crawl the knees forward, cross the ankles behind you and roll to the sitting bones. Open the legs out wide. And as you open the legs out wide, catch the right hand underneath the right knee, bend the right knee, and then take the right hand to the top of the right foot and bring the right foot back behind you, coming into what we call saddle pose. The same permission here. If this is not right for you for your knee, then by all means, bring the sole of the right foot to the inseam of the left thigh. But notice why you're making that choice. So just because the body is tight doesn't mean that we can't be here. If we have a true injury, if we have pain, we want to honor that. Bring the hands down the center if you're in either shape, and just draw the heart forward. Lengthen the spine. Flex the left toes towards you, pointing the left knee and the 5 left toes straight up to the sky. You don't need it to be deeper for it to be more effective or meaningful. A little bit is enough. And it's just amazing to see what happens over the course of a lifetime. My daughter sits like this all day long. She lands like this to play. At 10.5 months, there's just no tension in the body. And over time, the body collects tension as we respond and react to life. Doesn't mean that there's a problem with life. This is what the body does. And so we say, can we be here today with the sensations, the many feelings, the accumulation of the different samskaras, we might call them, the knots, and have the courage not to run away, or the courage to not grasp or wish for it to be somehow different, a judgment that somehow it should be better. Stay exactly where you are, as upright as you are, and just start to crawl the hands to the left. Frame the left leg with the fingertips, reaching the heart forward. You don't need to fold down or bow down. Have a little bend in the left knee so that you turn the left hamstring on. Reach the left hand to the left shin. Maybe you hook the left big toe with the first 2 fingers of the left hand. Circle the right arm up and over the head. Take an inhale. Right arm sweeps overhead, just there for a beat. And then exhale, drop the right hand behind you. Lift the hips up. Inhale, float the hips off the floor from either shape. Exhale, lower the sitting bones down. Open the right leg wide out to the right. And then switch. Left hand underneath the left knee. Draw the left ankle back by the left hip, or come into Janu Shirsasana, a wide version of that instead. Fingertips out in front of you between the legs, staying upright today. Draw the heart forward. Press the sitting bones down. And then close the eyes. What is essential right now? This is a question that one of my teachers, Deborah Eden Toll, poses all of the time. What is most essential? This breath in this moment is most essential. The commitment that you've made to do your practice is most essential. The to-dos, the tasks, the endless lists, those things actually can wait. Spirit wants you to be connected right now in this moment. And the way the teacher Sean Korn might say it is, can you walk with a God of your own understanding? What does that look like right now? What does it feel like to stay? To give yourself this gift, to restrain yourself from the endless abusive inner dialogue, the untrue story that you don't have time, the attachment to thinking how you think things should be, stealing time away from yourself. And keep the spine upright and just start to crawl the hands to the right, frame the right leg. Right toe still pointing to the sky, little bend in the right knee, turn the right hamstring on. So it's actually a strong pose, not so much about letting go and flopping in and flexibility. Holding back from that idea that deeper would somehow be better. And then reach the right hand forward wherever it lands, hand to shin, hook big toe, sweep the left arm up and overhead one time, big side body stretch, rotating the heart up, inhale. And then all the way up, left hand lands behind your left sitting bone, plant it down, lift the hips up, float the hips away from the floor. Release the hips down. Unweave the left leg, legs wide, catch the hands underneath the knees, bring the knees together, turn to face the top of your mat, and slowly recline onto your back. Hug your knees in. As you hug your knees in, wrap your right thigh tightly over your left, cactus your elbows. Slip your hips to the right, drop your knees to the left, take a twist. Close the eyes. Inhale back to center and switch. Left thigh tightly over the right. Shift the hips to the left. Drop the knees to the right. Deep into the out seam of the left leg. Let the floor support you. Notice if you're resisting the floor. Let the arms go, let the shoulders go, let the face soften, let the jaw unhinge. Receive the support. Inhale back to the center, uncross the legs, reach down, hug and squeeze the knees into the chest, curl the forehead up to meet the knees, squeeze the fingers, squeeze the toes, take a deep breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. Let the legs go. Let the arms go. Land into a full and final rest. As the feet fall away from each other and as the palms turn to the sky, Shavasana. And even here, for many of us, there is a practice of restraint, We tell ourselves we don't have time to rest. We tell ourselves this part of practice can wait. Observe that tendency or that condition. Give yourself permission to take just a couple of moments and do this one thing. Integrate. That last part of our practice, so key to it coming with us. Shavasana, even if it is only a minute. Allow this next breath to deepen. Inhale the arms up and over the head. Reach to the toes as you walk the legs a little bit closer together. Exhale, rebend the knees, curl onto the left side. Pause for a moment as you maybe cradle the head. And press down into the hands, rise all the way back up to sit. And cross the legs, join the hands at the heart, close the eyes and bow the chin. As you reflect inwardly, asking the question, is there a place in my life where I feel exhausted? Is there a place in my life where I've lost passion or energy? Is there a way for me to take this practice off the mat and into that aspect of my life? Have I overworked? Have I overindulged? Have I pushed myself to the brink or to a limit? And to know that the philosophy of yoga asks us first, even before we begin a physical practice, to be kind, to be honest, to be generous and gracious, to restrain ourselves in some way from the habits and the conditions that culture and ego and media have pushed us into today. And so from a place of generous restraint, do yourself a favor. Don't answer that email. Don't pick up that call. Don't do the next thing on your list. Give yourself a break, not because you're lazy, but because in fact you're strong and you're courageous. Inhale your thumbs to your forehead for clarity of thought, your fingertips to your lips for thoughtfulness of speech, and your hands to your heart for consistency of action, allowing your practice to guide you through everything you're thinking, saying, and doing. Together, take a final deep breath in through the nose. And open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Namaste.
I hope you enjoyed your practice. This week, explore this question for yourself off the mat and throughout your life. If you enjoyed this class, make sure to sign up for my newsletter at laureneckstrom.com so that you can join these practices for free live with me each week. Be sure to click subscribe below, And join me at interdimensiontv.com, where you can experience all of my yoga programs, series, meditations, wisdom talks, and so much more. Thank you for your practice today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.